I am here outside the Stonewall Inn. Behind me, you see the flags of freedom. And what about that one? The one with the bloody stripes.
That's right.
And the shield of empire. Oh, no, we are not an empire. What do you mean? We've never been an empire. We fought empires. That's what that flag says up there. And no, this is the flag of liberty.
Indigenous genocide.
Indeed.
That's what that flag is.
Indeed. Quite so. And yet we say, oh, we are so different because of some words. Why do those words matter? Huh? Who was killed by these? Who was killed by that? But this, it's altogether too perfect, isn't it? Inclusion as a claim, as a justification. And when you do that, you can do whatever the hell you want. That's American history. That was 250 years ago. But look at these, where the colors are. 6 of them, 7 of them, but they're all different. And they're all united in what freedom actually is. It's not in state power. It's not in bearing a gun. Maybe it's in throwing a brick. Maybe it's in just being when people don't want you to be. Which of these is the flag of freedom? It's not the one that was put up by tyranny. And tyranny isn't just a guy with a fancy golden circle on his head. Elected assemblies are as capable of tyranny as any magic hat man. We have a lot, as a country, a lot to really reflect on. Celebrate now, when the whole system is collapsing as it was always going to do. It's the lower flag that's the flag of freedom.
What's wild is that the same people who sanctify the 3-colored flag get so angry about the 6 and 7 colored flags. Is it all vexillology? Maybe it is all vexillology, but it's more than just colors and shapes. These colors and shapes have meaning to people. And is this meaning tied in with a government or with a community? Governments hurt people. Communities build them up.
You know, it's funny. Whenever I see any sort of queer expression online, what you see generally is some sort of religious figure unlocking their word hoard and unleashing sacred duckspeak like this. I would call religious blather. It's simply an emotive reaction to any sort of human expression outside of their control. There's nothing sacred about it, nothing holy, nothing noble. It's simply a gang protecting their turf. That's all it is. Hey, the religious one says, we have the perfect moral social system. Anything outside of it is evil of the greatest form. And if you buy that, cool. If you don't, it's almost funny. It's pathetic. It's hilarious. It's just an older, inferior moral social system railing against a newer and better one. To give these demons their due, there might have been a use of the suppression and shame built into, say, Christianity against the Romans and the Norse. But, well, that was 1,500 and 2,000 years ago. And they used those same tools against the Muslims 1,000 years ago. And then on this continent, 500 years ago. It is no longer fit for purpose. If it gives you happiness, that's one thing. But if you use it to suppress others, we know what this is. It's whining. It's whining at failure. It's reacting to something new and better. And I say it's new and better because I've seen both sides of this equation. I've seen religious families, restrictive families, and I've seen open and free families, and they're happier. And that means they're more orderly. Religion claims it suppresses queerness out of a sense of order. That is a lie. That is a self-destructive lie. Order isn't jackboots. Order isn't beatings. Order isn't someone waving a finger in your face. Order is simply what is, what does, what is, bees, without energy, without effort. Order is the resting point. But these folks thinks order is forced conflict. You know, because that's what crusades are. You get meaning through conflict. Francis Fukuyama talks about this all the time, and everyone ignores him for it. Laugh at this. They have been on the defensive for at least 150 years specifically, because every new subculture, genre, medium has had the same experience. And then we were called satanic. And you'd think after 150 years, these folks would learn their lesson. In a way they do. You know, there are praise bands of every genre. Oh, good. Now we've made it safe. Now the pastors within our communities can protect their bottom line. But what's funny is at this event, this person's responding to, religion was a positive force. Religion didn't present itself as opposed to queerness. And my video wasn't about religion at all. It was about nationalism. It was about flags, identities, and the symbols that justify them. It was about how the queer pride flag actually stands for liberty far more than the American flag does, because it's not linked to state power. You know, states kill people. That is what they do. Queerness was never allied with the state. Maybe the state tolerated. It's like, hey, this is cool, do this. Whereas, you know, a flag of a polity is by its very nature violent. But it had nothing to do with religion. You know, yeah, there were, you know, religious figures there, and they were supportive. Because, after all, this process isn't new. 250 years ago, religious figures were worried about the state replacing the church in the American Revolution against the Church of England, and in France against Roman Catholicism, where the nation was taking on the state's role. But again, that was 250 years ago. That's why I was speaking in the Whiggish mode of liberty and tyranny. And I don't know how many gay liberation groups do that. They usually talk about human rights, which is a 20th century phenomenon. But what if they used the Whiggish mode of the late 18th or 19th century? This is liberty. Restricting it is tyranny of the most obvious form. And the more you blather about God punishing pride bad, yeah, dumbass, because queer folks were targets of state power, were targets of religious power, and you're continuing it? It makes you look like petty, tyrannical jerks. Go on. Keep doing this. It works out so well. It makes you look like such sensible stewards of the human soul. Good job. Good job. Pride is a response to suppression. And you would know that because that's how your pride works. Oh, but no one else can do it. Okay, we see your game. It's a pretty crappy game. Reaction never works. It's self-destructive. Tell that to the Tokugawa shogunate. Tell that to the House of Bourbon and Romanov, Hohenzollern, Habsburg. the ching. Reaction never works. You ride the waves of history. You don't try to stop them. It's a dam against a flood. You control it and manage it and find a way to get everyone to work together. And that uses less energy than new thing bad. New thing bad never works. Your whole system doesn't work. Queerness shows that. You can find happiness and order in community. Hey, wait a minute. Wasn't that what like early Christianity was supposed to be about? I don't know. I wouldn't know. You have no power over me. You're talking to a Jewish atheist here. You're literally tilting at walls. Find a better use of your time.